Hallelujah. 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 Hey there, Ox and Codys. How y'all doing? Whatever part of the world you're scattered to. So I'm just coming on here. Just I had to, decompress because I saw something that boiled my blood. And look, you can have righteous anger. So when I saw this just more than ever adds to the fact that you cannot trust in flesh. So I saw, and I ain't calling no names, but I saw something today, and it kind of like had me like, you said what? And to be more frank or precise, this person was talking about Solomon and Solomon's many wives. And just stopped at the first verse. What happened to precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little? I have to say this with as much intensity as I felt when I saw it. I hate when our people do this mess. They use the sins of our ancestors and forefathers to justify the sins that our people are carrying on with today. See, what I don't get is, are we living in the land that was promised to us? Are we free? Did Yahushua come and we just didn't know? Is the Most High like not angry with us? Why is it that we're scattered again? Because our forefathers were in the right? Because Solomon went ahead and married several wives. The Most High said, hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. You read the entire thing. See, this is what happens when people like to do half-truths. Read the second verse. What did he say? He spoke to Israel not to do it because it will change your heart. Contaminate. Right? And then what did the Most High do in the end? Did he just leave Solomon? No, he came to him and warned him himself because he was finna destroy Solomon. But because of his promise to David, he cursed Solomon's son, Rehoboam. He cursed his son. Anytime, you see what I'm saying? This is why when you ain't putting your trust in flesh, ain't nobody can disappoint you. All right? So when somebody come out and show their true colors, it's just like, the fact is, many of y'all think you're supposed to be living peaceful on earth, right? But what did Yahushua say? Let's go to Matthew 10, verse 35. Matthew 10, verse 35. I don't want to make this too long because I know I got to keep y'all attention. Okay, Matthew 10, verse 34 to 35. Okay, what did Yahushua say? Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. What does that say to you? Because he's here to challenge the nonsense that our people have taught each other for so long. It comes a point where the Most High is, look, man, time is up, man. Okay, you ain't finna keep doing the same nonsense over and over again and just live with it. There are people who are now just intolerant of this mess. Right? Many times the words that come out of these people's mouth, the fact they can't even pick a side. This is why the Most High, remember, I'm not saying Israel is just a woman, but it's a man, woman. But in the essence, your first teacher is usually supposed to be your mother, from even before you're birthed, right? That's why they usually say, try to talk to your child while she's in the belly or he's in the belly. You start putting in those values and teaching them those things. If you ain't doing all that and you just all willy-nilly throwing it around, then what you gonna get? That's why in the scriptures, in the Apocrypha, the Most High says it is better to have one godly child than many ungodly ones. Right? Yahushua said he didn't come to bring peace. He came to bring the sword. Because I'm just here trying to figure out, when people keep talking about, well, back in the days, they always had mamzers or biracials, or they always had what? They were marrying many wives. And what happened? Where are we now? Are we in our land? No. There's some imposters sitting in our land, taking our blessings, pressing out the life out of some of us. And you finna tell me that this is okay? Clearly, somewhere along the line, the Most High was like, enough is enough, and put us out of our land. See, the problem is a lot of y'all are banking on this fentanyl and opioids, but you did not see that blind side. You see your enemy sit back. I think I just watched the first Purge finally, and ain't nothing but the truth. They just like, look, we plant the seed and we just let y'all destroy each other. And they sit back. And when y'all are weakened enough, they come in and they finish the job. Okay? Not everybody's for you. You got people who are over here claiming to be Native Americans and chiefs and all that. Where were you when our people needed the help? Where were you? In your little cubby hole, enjoying your little selves, glad that you ain't us. Right? There has to be, that's why at first, some people won't get it. But I get why there has to be a pure seed. It's like when mamzers, it's like you're playing Russian roulette. It's not always promised that they finna marry another black person. They can go either marry in black and prolong the seed of the black, or they can do the other way. And that's why the Most High is like, look, I'm not into the compromising. Okay? Be hot, be cold. Be for your people or other nations. So when I see this nonsense, and you see some people this is what happened with the bigger platforms, and they have more influence. And usually, the females and things like that. Child. But I know, I gotta stay small. Ain't nobody finna think, even though I wake up in the morning and they want to attack my internet. But what is so wrong with our people loving themselves? Huh? I'm not saying that, any other hues are ugly. We're all gorgeous. Gorgeous. And even the other races. But you think Satan about to make the temptation unattractive or undesirable? He about to heighten it up so it's very desirable. Make the temptations that great. That's why the Most High said, go on ahead. He gave Satan the ability to do the thing that he did. Because if you don't realize the power that he gives in his people who had to be made the least to understand, and some of y'all don't, but we about to do a video on that in a few. I just don't want to make this too long. Right? He put that power in his people. But until you learn to harness it and love one another, that's why he says it's the greatest commandments. Okay? Right there, hang all the law. Right? Once y'all are together, all the other commandments just fall in place. And that is why they work so hard to divide you. Some people will be like, you going too hard. Every time I'm like, Father, this is the hardest. It is the hardest ever. I'm just like, how we finna wake the brothers up? That's why we said, you gotta have a righteous woman. You can't be having no other mother or other nation. Because a lot of them they ain't loyal. Even some of our people too. But he gotta get somebody who he inject the love for people who haven't been loved for a long time to know that, look, this is how we got here and this is how we get out. Right? Because he loved you. Once they injected all their seed, they're like, yeah, okay, y'all think we finna die out? But you don't know, huh? You don't know. Because they say it too. If we go out, then there's the Asians, then there's the Hispanics, then there's the Mamzers who finna come after you. Just like David and Goliath. Everybody was looking at everyone else but David as the chosen. But the Most High, everybody, maybe the bigger one, maybe the bigger son Oh no. And then they looked at the one to the pack, David. And what happened? He just used a little slingshot, just a little bit of strength. Just like he talks about the Church of Philadelphia, just a little bit. Because he says, when you are weak, I am strong. All right? If you can't understand why it is that he tries to impress upon y'all to love yourselves, you know, I try to go hard for everyone, but sometimes he says, you got to dial it back because my sheep hears my voice. The ones who hear, they'll get it and they'll know. And they'll spread it. But there's some who finna just like, once they start speaking and they start telling the truth and you start hitting them in the right places, then they start telling you exactly where their loyalty lies. Don't second guess it. Okay? I come out y'all, I tell y'all, I was in the military. Surrounded by coons. Ain't nothing worse when you're awake, but you can't love on your people. You can't communicate with your people. They looking at you with distrust, dismissing you, misusing you, abusing you. They don't even know why they were doing it. You understand? Your first teacher is your mama. Right? Even when daddy gone out to do their work. First teacher. Mommy, you get it right. Homeschooling, that's what happened. So, as we said before, you ain't finna eject the effects of the bloodline woman. All right? Just not gonna do it. But then again, if we were to give another example. Oh, wait, did we finish the whole thing about David? Yeah, the runt who became one of the greatest kings next to Yahushua. Right? Runt. They saw Goliath. If you look at Goliath and we were to look at it in today's example, right? You're looking at all these other nations. All these other people got you surrounded. You got Edom, the border of wickedness. You're leading. It's like, think of it like Goliath, the giant. Nobody saw David coming out or David coming out winning. They were like, well, it was nice knowing you, son. They were like fearful for him. He's so little though, because Goliath would be like the advanced technology, that's scary. Like, look, he got all the weaponry of the day. He all suited up, armored up. One little slingshot. David, he had that faith. He's like, let me go, I could do it. And the Most High was with him, and all he took was that one little hit. Behind the hit was the power of our Almighty Elohim. So don't discount your people. I did. I had to go through complete inflicting. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. But the sheep hear his voice and they will know what to do. Okay? In the end, you win. That's why he gave you this, to build your faith. For those of y'all who know the truth. So when sometimes, I get all thrown off when you got some other people from other nations. So you can tell that they're not your people. And you're like, man, if they influence them and take them in, fine. This is where you see a lot of these popular people and they have the most influence of the people. You're like, oh, man. Okay. That don't second guess the Almighty. That's basically it. Right? If you have a set of people who are threatened by your unity, let them go. Those out there talking about, look, is it real? Do you think you can really separate? Do you think you can really let them go? Man, go on with yourself. You just told on yourself. You just told on yourself. Where you really from? Okay? Opioid and fentanyl ain't finna take out your enemy if you out there supporting the fact. Let me give y'all an example. Alien and Predator. Ever see Alien, when even if they kill him, he already planted the seed amongst the people. So he left them there just to go on ahead and finish off the work. So when people say, look, we've always had mamzers and biracials and you blah, 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 blah. Yawn. So when I saw this, I was just like, man, now I see. Devil in the details. Now I understand I hated journalism because it was too much. You had to have so much attention to details or you'd lose your credibility. You got to be able to see things others can't see. All wise, yeah. It's like sometimes you don't even understand until finally he shows you. You have to be able to see the things that our people can't see so that when time comes, and the Most High is like, look, I ain't finna sit up out here and wait all the time. I'm out here, I'm waiting, and we waking up. Who needs to be woken up and who's staying asleep? Going back. Okay. So anyway, remember Matthew 10:34-35. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. He here to let you challenge every single wicked lie and deception you have been taught that has been keeping you in bondage. We are not in our place that we should be in. This is why we had to be scattered. Right? And some of y'all over here second guessing us. I mean, the Most High's peeps. Second guessing us. All right? Because you were not for us. Remember, the Most High is like, look, they finna go out. This is how he's telling you that eventually they're about to be revealed. To make manifest that they were never for us. Sometimes it's going to be hard, but that is what happened when some of y'all are man pleasers and sheeple pleasers. This is why, look, Haiti, they got it. I mean, they got beat down for it, but they got it. What did they do? Go back into the Haitian Revolution. They took out the problem and the seed that they planted. That's a powerful nation right there. Right? Telling you. What was I about to say again? Now, some of y'all ever wonder why it's okay for everybody else to love themselves but not us? Every other nation can have their deity that looks like them. You got Buddha, you got the Shiva, the Vishnu, all these other people. And, them making their little totem poles. Ain't nobody messing with them. But then all of a sudden, the Israelite black man and woman trying to worship someone that look like themselves. And everybody got their 2 cents in it. You got some people who are, well, we were already here. I'm sorry, but my father told me that we were not here. We do own this land, but he told me he was finna put our people in the land our forefathers never knew. So I don't know who you are. I don't see you out there putting your neck on the line for our people. So I don't know where you came from. Look. If they are not finna tell you the love that they have for their people, they'll eventually show it in ways like not the love that they were not for you, basically. Everybody else, they can go love themselves. But when you turn around talking about, I love myself, I love my man, my woman, my children that look like me. Everybody have a 2 cents. Typical narcissistic world. How dare you, the victim, suddenly want to love yourself and not us? How dare you? You don't want to love this loose curl and this straight hair and this light skin. What? How you want to love yourself? We beating up, but they beat up on you. The least will be the greatest. It is what it is. If you want to look at the David story against Goliath, the Most High put these stories in here to show you where your strength is at. And if we want to take it a little further, the heathens, they were the least. I'm not saying they're the people, but how did he overthrow when David became great and our people? What did he use? He used the least, the heathens, to overthrow our people because of their disobedience. Remember, we are disobedient people and we ain't out the woods yet. So I ain't finna like figure this out when somebody is using the sins of our forefathers to justify the wickedness that got us here. Makes absolutely no sense. This is what happened when y'all over here, like, oh, worshiping people, saying they so brilliant, but you don't really know. Remember, your enemy finna just like make everything look attractive, what you can see with your own two eyes, and run to. It is within its power to make it desirous. But just like y'all, y'all love fast food and all these other things. But then what? Too much, consuming too much of it, eventually can be the death of you. As we say, look, the balance of it all. You've got to have a pure race. And you got the KKK out there loving their pure race. Talking about they hate blacks and they hate Jews. Yeah, I'll ever think that maybe the Jews they're talking about are not the Khazars, but they actually know who is who. So I say some of y'all discounting them that they don't know nothing. That, oh, they're so innocent. They have no clue. Nope. Most High, you see, every time we got to take it back when the Most High says to trust, not to trust your enemy. Trust not your enemy. Their wickedness gets worse. They're constantly plotting. Now it's like they're like, okay, well, let's release a contaminated seed because they can't operate in the purity. They're only here to provide contaminants. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I'm sorry this was so long. 21 minutes, 45 seconds. Okay, this we're gonna get better. But remember, in order to be the chosen seed, you have to actually act like it, become it. Don't let any old finagle and findingle, even if it's me, even if it's, look, if my mama tell me something different than what the Most High said, I'll be like, mama, bye. I mean, even though right now we are separated because I can only deal with them from afar. But I pray for them and I see the Most High moving. Trust him, believe he doesn't break promises. So anyway, Ox and the Cody's, once again, shalom.